We've all been there, right? You have a USB cable and it's just never long enough.
Oh, absolutely.
3 meters, maybe 5 if you're really lucky. And after that, the signal quality just falls off a cliff.
Which is fine for, a keyboard on your desk, but it's a total nightmare if you're trying to control, say, a machine from a clean room.
Or a server that needs to be physically isolated a few floors away.
Exactly.
And that's the exact gap we're looking at today. This is the NTI USB3-2FOLC50-2 extender.
It's a piece of hardware that looks at that standard limit and just blows it away.
It seems to stretch it to over 1,000 feet.
11,148 feet, to be precise, so 350 meters.
That's not just across the room. That's across an entire warehouse floor.
Or up a 30-story building.
Okay, but usually when you extend a signal that far, you have to kill the speed. Are we dropping down to like old school USB 2.0 speeds just to get the reach?
No, and that's the headline spec here. It maintains full USB 3.0 SuperSpeed.
You're kidding.
Nope, we're talking 5 gigabits per second.
How? Copper wire creates way too much resistance for that kind of bandwidth at 10 feet, let alone 1,000.
Right, so they ditched the copper. This whole system converts the electrical USB signal into light.
Into light. So we're talking fiber optics.
Exactly. It uses a 2-strand LC 50-micron OM3 multi-mode fiber cable.
OM3 multimode. Okay, why that specific type of fiber?
Well, it's kind of the sweet spot for this sort of application. OM3 has enough bandwidth for that huge 5 Gbps throughput over these mid-range distances.
Without the crazy cost of the other stuff.
Exactly. You don't need the expensive laser hardware that you'd use for, single-mode fiber, which is for miles-long telecom runs. It's the perfect balance of speed and cost.
But wait a second. If you're swapping copper for glass doesn't conduct electricity.
Yeah.
How are you powering the camera or the hard drive at the other end?
You spotted the catch.
There's always a catch.
So the local unit, the one plugged into your computer, that pulls power from the host. But the remote unit, 1,000 feet away, it absolutely requires an external power source.
So you need a wall outlet at the destination.
Mandatory. It comes with a standard AC adapter.
Yeah.
But here's why that's a good thing. Because it has its own dedicated power, the remote unit can guarantee each of its 2 USB ports gets the full 900 milliamps.
Which is what you need for those power-hungry devices.
Right. An external hard drive, a high-res webcam.
Right.
They'll work perfectly. You're not trying to trickle charge something over 1,000 feet of wire. It ensures stability.
Speaking of stability, I'm looking at the price tag here, $735. That's a pretty steep ask compared to a cheap repeater cable you'd find online.
It is, but you have to think about the environment this is built for.
Okay.
Because it uses light, fiber is completely immune to RFI and EMI.
Radio frequency and electromagnetic interference.
Yes. A standard copper cable can act like a giant antenna. If you run it near a heavy factory motor or, say, an MRI machine, that signal gets scrambled.
So the data gets corrupted.
Precisely. Fiber is just silent. So while $735 is an investment, it's a lot cheaper than data loss in a factory or the cost of shielding an entire facility.
That makes sense. And NTI gives it a 2-year warranty, which tells you this is industrial gear, not a consumer gadget.
For sure.
So is the setup a headache? I hear fiber, and I think I need a specialist just to plug it in.
You'd think so, but no. The documentation is really clear that it's fully transparent.
Meaning?
No drivers needed. It's plug and play for Windows, Mac, and Linux. The computer doesn't even know the extender is there. It just sees the USB ports.
It really is turning USB from a simple desktop convenience into a piece of, building infrastructure.
That's a great way to put it. It completely blurs the line between a personal accessory and a core utility.
And it really makes you wonder, as data demands keep climbing and interference gets worse, will we eventually see copper just disappear from our walls entirely, replaced by glass for everything?
That's something to think about.
Definitely. Thanks for joining this deep dive.